Hey guys, Out of Better Life here in Las Vegas, Nevada, outside of SHOT Show. We're going to be walking the streets here in a little bit and asking people how they feel about 3D printed firearms. Currently outside the Venetian here with Cape. Cape, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm a little cold. I should have worn a jacket for this segment, but otherwise, I'm pretty great.
Awesome. So yeah, let's go find out what people think.
Okay, so here's the question. What do you think about 3D printed firearms?
All right. So first of all, I'm pro 2A, right?
Okay.
3D printed firearms. I don't know, man. I feel like it's gonna be a tricky situation, right? I feel like it's gonna be really hard because people that are not supposed to be owning firearms anymore, are going to use that to kind of make P80s, crappy P80s.
Yeah.
They'll still be able to cause some kind of violence out there. I don't know. I feel like they should, if they get printed, 3D printed, they should be serialized. They should follow the right process to just get them done the right way,
Okay.
But I'm definitely pro 2A. I don't think there should be any regulations on when it comes to like suppressors like that or machine guns or whatever, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever type of firearm, like if you have the money for it, I feel like you should be able to own it,
Yeah.
But like you said, your question when it comes to 3D printed guns, it's kind of tricky, You honestly do not want anybody to be 3D printing guns because what's the point of having legal guns,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you agree with that statement, but I would love to hear your opinion on that as well.
So, the guys with me here, we all do a podcast on 3D printing guns. And so
Okay.
we are all conventional gun owners as well, but are interested in the sort of making aspect of 3D
Okay.
printing firearms,
Okay.
where you get to design something, you get to see it all the way through, and then at the end you've created your own gun, and there's something fun and special about that,
I agree, 100% agree. I just don't want the people that have a history of violence to be able to do that,
Yeah.
Because if you cannot legally go somewhere and buy a handgun or a rifle or somewhere like that, if you get to buy a 3D printer, it kind of defeats the purpose of not being able to buy a firearm, like felons. Unfortunately for them, they cannot own firearms, and if they're able to print one, violence is just going to continue, and I totally agree with what you said, you definitely get to have a special feeling when you see the project from 0 to 100%,
Yeah.
but I mean, I don't know, I just feel like firearms, when they're serialized, they're also like protected, like you can report it as stolen in case it gets stolen or lost or something like that. I feel like things you should follow the process, but there should be no regulations against 3D printing also, like I just don't want the guns to end up in the wrong hands.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man.
Well, thank you for talking with us.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Can I have a second to ask a question? No? Okay, fair enough.
Excuse me, sir, is how you should start that.
Excuse me. Do you have a second to where I could ask you a question? Okay. What are your thoughts on 3D printed firearms?
Oh, tricky. In the wrong hands, I don't think it's good. In the right hands, I think it's good.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Very
Is
cool.
this even a microphone?
It is.
or-
So this is a
Okay.
3D printed
Okay.
microphone holder. Yeah.
It's a hot topic for sure.
It is. Yeah.
It is. In the wrong hands, it's not a good thing.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Cheers.
Appreciate it.
Do you have a second to talk? No. Okay.
What's
Do you have a second to talk about something?
Yeah, what's up?
So,
live and we recording, right?
what do you think about 3D printed guns?
Ooh, it's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing for people who don't have enough money to do it, like me, for instance. I'm from the country, so I'm all for pro-Second Amendment, the right to bear arms to protect ourselves against the government, that's tyranny, the right to go hunting because that's how we're supposed to be brought up. We're supposed to hunt for our own food instead of mass killing and shit like that. No, I'd be wrong because, you know, I'm still a gangbanger too, so for that side who's still not intelligent or enlightened to not just be negative, that's the bad part for 3D printing guns too, for people who are felons, who are not supposed to have weapons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I do understand because, you know, being a gangbanger, like, your life is in danger, so, you know what I'm saying, you gotta do what you gotta do in order to stay alive. But
Yeah.
it's good for people who want to have a new hobby, who want to try something different, and for people who can't afford guns right now. Because it is hard to make 3D printing guns as well.
Yeah.
Because they have tournaments of it. I saw it myself on YouTube, and like some of the guns didn't even function.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's still a learning process at that, but good is for people who can't afford it, who want a new hobby, who want to go hunting, stuff like that. It's bad for the felons and everybody else on the street.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you very much
Oh, yeah,
for
I
talking.
appreciate it. All right, my
Cheers.
brother, have a good one.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question?
What's the question?
Do you have any thoughts on 3D printed firearms?
3D printed. Ooh, you guys are here for the firearm thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you have any
Interesting.
thoughts about 3D printed guns?
Yeah, I think if you can make something cheaper, like, you might as well do it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, fuck it.
Interesting.
What about you? Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I think it makes firearms too accessible, but I don't know. I don't like to speak on things that I don't know too much about. I just know my personal opinion on having a gun,
Okay.
which I'm not for. But I feel like 3D printing something that would make an item more accessible, which I personally don't think it needs to be. So that's my opinion on it.
Okay.
But I don't like to say my opinion is law on that because I really don't know too much about guns and stuff like that. So
Yeah, fair enough. Well, thank you.
yeah.
All right, cool.
Cheers.
We'll check info on us to see.
Good Plum, why are you gay?
Dicks are the best.
Yeah?
Badge is overrated.
I agree.
Shit gets you in trouble.
Hell yeah, dude.